Back at it with another stunning closeout duo from, come on, look at the labels. You know what we're talking about. Do I have to tell you the life story of George friggin' Duboeuf? No, I don't. The guy, the man, I mean, he's not doing too much nowadays, you know. He's like hanging around at the local Michelin restaurant in town and drinking and hanging out at his amusement park with the Oktoberfest tasting room. Crazy, as well as the Duboeuf amusement park. Dude's done pretty well for himself, and the Duboeuf family are pretty well set up. That being said, what do you guys think of when you hear the name Duboeuf? Right? You already thought of it. It's in your head. I'm going to tell you right now. Beaujolais Nouveau. Cheap, grapey, blah, 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 party wine, third Thursday in November, Thanksgiving table, banana yeast, the whole 9 yards, et cetera, et cetera. Now, that's part of what Duboeuf does. And it's what Duboeuf does put them on the map. Now, Beaujolais Nouveau is kind of going by the wayside, right? People are less interested in Beaujolais Nouveau than they used to be. And what's happening is it's opening the door again for all the fabulous other things that Duboeuf does, right? Because poor friggin' Duboeuf, I'm not gonna say poor Duboeuf because the dude's like richer than snot, but the point is, he made his money off a particular genre of wine, just like Jess Jackson did with Kendall Jackson Vintners Reserve Chardonnay, just like Louis Jadot did with Beaujolais and Pouilly-Fuissé, Joseph Drouin, Bourgogne La Forêt, Louis Latour, Van d'Ardèche. And what happens is, we as Americans, we don't have the bandwidth to think, them are other wines from them people, right? We don't think that way. We sit there and we go, oh, Louis Jadot, that's the Pouilly-Fuissé Beaujolais guy. Oh, that's so-and-so, that's the guy. Oh, that's George Duboeuf, that's the Beaujolais Nouveau guy. When in fact, all of these entities produce multiple tiers of the highest quality wines that you can find, but they never get the love for it because they got pigeonholed into the one thing that made them famous and they can't get out of it. Horrible, horrible problem if you're extremely wealthy and you're like 75 years old and then you want to leave your mark. And it's like, my mark is $10 wine. Nah. Long story short, he's made these cru wines. The Duboeuf family have made these cru wines for years. Now, what are the Duboeuf cru wines? Well, it's a series of single vineyard properties that George Duboeuf team has always vinified separately. It's their own separate estates, each one of these. And so think of these each as domain bottled wines, just like you would think of Foillard or La Pierre or Tivan or whoever the hell, right? These are single vineyard estate Beaujolais bottled individually by Duboeuf. Got it? So this isn't like a contrived name. This isn't like crappy Beaujolais stuck into a bottle with a name on it. It doesn't work that way. These are single estate wines that have worked with the Duboeuf family for decades. Decades. And they're some of the finest value wines in the planet, even without the discussion of today's amazing closeout price, which we will get to. So without further ado, boy, it's fun doing it with jet lag, Patrick. We should do this with jet lag more often. I just got off the plane like a few hours ago and it's end of day and this is fun because I'm just like giddy and slappy. It's amazing. The information's coming across just fine, I hope. I think it is. This is the Domaine des Rosiers, Moulin Avant 2020, crafted and marketed by George Duboeuf. Even with no sleep, the guy still got. Anyway, here we're talking about the Chauvet family. The Chauvet family has, again, worked with Duboeuf for decades with their great parcels of Moulin Avant in one of the finest terroirs in Moulin Avant. We're talking 50-plus-year-old vines on gobelette, head trained, dry farmed, all the yummy, cool stuff that makes you want to go out, that makes all you cool kids want to go out and buy Beaujolais. It's in here. 80% is completely neutral. 20% of the wine does see new French oak, small barrel. So there's a touch of new wood on here. 20 is a great vintage as well, by the way. 20 is a baller year for Beaujolais. And the Beaujolais wines can age. I don't know if you're aware of this. Gamay, done properly like this and like some of the other top cru Beaujolais we sell, ages like a son of a gun. 10 years, 20 years potentially, no problem for the top cru wines in Beaujolais. Beautiful color. Tender, yet still punchy. A little darker fruit component to Gamay than to Pinot Noir. A lot of people want to associate Pinot Noir with Gamay, and they're growing real close by each other. But no, Gamay is its own mojo. It's very urgent. Can sometimes be a touch more tannic, but in this case, it's not. The wine just has beautiful fruit, silky texture, good punchy acids, even though it's a warm year. Just absolutely gorgeous. Yay, Beaujolais. I'm liking this. This is good today. And for all you dorks out there, it's a leaf day. This wine's banging on a leaf day. We got the smooth jazz in the background. This is, God, I'm just channeling my inner Yanni right now. Delicious. Now, I'm not opening both of these, but the other wine we have on offer today in smaller quantities is the Domaine de Gevernier. And the Gevernier comes from the La Coque family. Sorry, La Coque. It's potato, huh? They're all French in the end, right? So this one, the La Coque family, again, 50-plus-year-old vines on Gobelette, at least sustainably, if not organically farmed, from the famous Morgon Côte de Pie, the famous hill, the mountain. It's not really a mountain. It's kind of like it's like a big hill. And but the Côte de Pie is revered for the quality of its wines from these hillside vineyards. And same type of deal there. Baller wine, great vintage, great everything. Holy cow. So the current retails on these full pop retails in these wines, like 32, 35 bucks, whatever. We're running both up the flagpole today for $15. To get Beaujolais at this quality level from these vineyards, from a great vintage with a couple years of bottle age on it, beautifully farmed, beautifully executed for $15 is absolutely effing stealing. Steal these wines. Yay, jet lag. Oh!